Emerson. Or there is no greater blunderer than he who spends most of his life getting his living. Thoreau.
Thoreau.
Again, it's relative, and wealth itself is relative, for he who has little and wants less is richer than he who has much and wants more. C.C. Colton. So, it's relative. We're like the 6 blind men from India. What's important to one person is not important to the other. Now, having said that, we have to remember we live in a sick world. Where money is now a barometer of success. I was brainwashed into thinking that way as a young man. I was foolishly tricked into thinking that's what was going to make me happy. But I got lucky in life. I was inquisitive. I talked to older people who had been through a lot of things.
The Fruit Loops coming up in a bit.
Lesson from one man.
I'm gonna meet up with someone I've only met once.
I was doing accounting work.
I'm gonna give him a ride.
He said, "John, this is the third
meet some
time
new people there I've never met before.
I've done it twice before.
Cool.
Both times I made a bunch of money, and then I went out to, I went out and blew it. Had a lot of fun. But now looking back on all this as an older guy, if I had it to do all over again, blown off the money, I would have went straight out to the island and lived a simple life.
I would have blown off the money and straight out to the island.
About having simple wants. Again, he who has little and wants less is far more richer than he who has a lot and wants more. So it's all relative to your personality. So Socrates was right. Know thyself. Except he didn't understand there are 3 different personality modes. There's the like to, ought to, and need to. I've gone over that before in this amazing personality test that's based on quantum physics. What really matters is that bottom graph. What makes us feel good? And different people feel different ways about different things, like the 6 blind men from India. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this personality test so you can customize what it's going to take for you to be successful. Because money might not be what floats your boat. Like for me, I could care less about money. I learned how to make a lot of money a long time ago, and I could have made a bunch if that's what I wanted, but I don't about money. I'm a philosopher. I'm a high blue personality, and you'll understand that in a moment. 4 main colors were used to describe 4 main characteristics. Why? Because it's all based on quantum physics, and color is vibrating energy. Reds act, they do things quickly. Yellows talk, they do things friendly. Blue people think, they do things creatively. Red physical energy, blue mental energy. Green people analyze, they do things carefully. There are about a dozen characteristics that describe each one of those traits. Now we have 3 different modes to work out of. This is based on Freud. Your like to is your ego, your ought to is your id, or your super ego, and then your id is your bottom graph. That's your ought to, your need to graph. Like to, ought to, need to.
Real lady
3
blue.
different modes. Like to is the kind of work we want to do. Need to is our at-home behavior.
I just got back.
Is how we want to be managed.
I just got back from the farmer's market.
So we do different things at
this guy's
different
like
times
how to be successful.
Good. The first thing we do is we do things we like.
I like John Rose. You guys like John Rose?
We do things that we think and feel we should do. And then eventually we get around to doing what feels good. So as we get older, we learn to operate out of that 3rd graph more, because that's what really matters. And it's interesting when you want to have a relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
When you first meet someone, they both operate on that ought to graph, and 2 out of 3 people are blue-yellow.
This is John Rose.
In that
John Rose is a fruitarian guy.
And they think they have something in common, and once they get to know each other better,
this is the guy who influenced Christina Bucaram, the Bucarilla from Fuji Raw.
Until you actually live with the person, you're never going to really understand their at-home behavior, which is what's really important. Now, the man who devised this test, called personanalysis,
John Rose,
said that 80% of marriages marry opposites, because opposites attract. So red and blue are a very common attraction. Physical energy wants the mental energy. But the red energy wants to be the boss. Blue people can't stand to be told what to do. Blue people want unstructured time. Again, success is being able to live your life in your own way. Why do you think there's so many homeless people? You think they're really that stupid? They don't want to work? Well, a lot of them are. They're having problems. A lot of them have mental issues. I agree with that. But a lot of them just want unstructured time. It's not worth the hassle to give up their structured time, unstructured time, to have to get a job. They'd rather be homeless.
Yep.
That's why a lot of homeless people are really profound, because they really
I would rather be homeless. I'm totally blue. I like it.
And they're out there thinking all day. Now,
I made $150 today, though, so whatever.
People around me are just a bunch of drunks that can't get anything together. They're not awful people at all. So obviously there's other things that factor into this.
Most people around him are just a lot of drunks. It's true. That's my situation too.
Unsuccessful?
I don't think I know him who's not into
money, you're successful.
I'm going to a Fruit Look today though, so that's important to me.
Kind of aggravates me a little bit when I think about it. How I thought that if I didn't make a bunch of money, that I would be worthless. But that's how I was brought up, and that was the direction I was going. Little did I know how much life is an illusion. And that the true meaning of success really lies in understanding yourself and knowing what's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
So,
self-understanding, self-empathy is so important.
If you take the advice of anyone else out there, they'll say, well, you need to be more conscientious. You need to be a perfectionist. Well, wait a second, that's a green trait. Well, wait a second, don't you want your engineers that built that plane to be a perfectionist? Yeah, you do, because that's the kind of job they are. Engineers are a green type of personality. Architects, lawyers, accountants. I don't have any green in my graph. That's why I didn't stay with accounting.
I got green.
That's why I switched over to be a teacher. I'm a blue, yellow, blue, green. My bottom graph is mostly blue and a little green.
I'm going to take that test and see what happens.
Triple blue. So that means I have now 3 secondary traits. Got a great imagination. I can actually conceptualize things that don't even exist. And I have empathy.
That sounds like illusion.
And this is something not everyone has. It's a personality trait in addition to being an empath. And I'm both in that case. And again, this has to do with the performance equation. Remember, our performance equals willingness times ableness. That willingness factor is a big key to the equation.
Willingness times. He's got all these awesome sayings.
For people to be successful in business is to make sure that if you had a red job you found, or a red-yellow job, whichever the case might be, you find an employee who has the ability, but then they have the personality that likes to do that type of work. And a big problem that businesses have when they promote people is they have somebody out in the field, let's say, doing a red-green job, and then they bring them into the office and have them do some planning, a blue job. They're not qualified for that.
Why is my eye sparkling?
So there are 2 big mistakes companies make, and that this test was used to help people avoid.
Where's that coming from?
Making sure you put the right person in the right job. You don't want to put a green person in a yellow job, and you see that all the time.
Flash, there's 2 spots. There's like 2 white spots, and they're flashing.
Closed doors, working on a computer or something. And then the other mistake is they promote people.
They're both eyes. Yeah, what the hell? That's hardcore. What is that?
So you have to understand your personality if you really want to be successful in life.
That's cool.
Remember, money often
Maybe it's a new YouNow
much.
filter or something.
When you own land, the land owns you. Same thing for a house. You own the house, now the house owns you. There's a lot to be said.
That's why I don't want to own anything. My mom's all pissed all the time. He doesn't even own that house. I'm like, I'm not trying to own anything.
That's the most important thing I've done for myself. I am such a simple person. People say, John, put on a shirt. You know how often I buy clothes?
Take off my shirt.
I buy a handful of shorts and a couple T-shirts every other year or something.
Wow. John Rose is funny.
Simple man. Success to me is helping you guys. Success for me is to have meaning in my life. To have unstructured time to help people.
Meeting his needs.
And live my life my way. I don't need money to prove my worth. I learned that lesson a long time ago. I know how to make the money. I could have made a ton of money if that's what I wanted. Again, there is no greater blunder than he who consumes the majority of his life getting a living. That's what most of us do. We spend the majority of our day trying to accumulate things we don't even need that are actually going to be detrimental to our well-being.
What's up, nickname?
It's an illusion, my friends. It's an illusion. The problem, of course, we live in a sick world where money does exist. It's hard to live without it. Although John Robbins, who was supposed to inherit the Baskin-Robbins fortune, you may be familiar with this story.
Yep.
And he found out it was the dairy that he was consuming that made him sick, all that ice cream. And he didn't want any part of the family business. He took his wife and children, and I think he moved to an island somewhere, lived on like $600 a year off the land, grew his own food. People say, John, how can I live and be successful up here where I can't even eat the food that I'm supposed to eat? Well, then you got to really consider relocation, don't you? Once you understand how important our food is to this puzzle, we need to really question whether or not we want to stay where we are, or we got to figure out some way to make enough money to be able to afford that expensive food that has to be now shipped into us or flown into us.
That's Canada life right there.
So happiness, again, when you study different authors, what you're going to find is they're going to come at it from their personality. You come at it, let's say, like someone like Anthony Robbins, for example. That's a high blue man there. He realizes you got to look at the big picture. You got to look at the physical, the emotional, the financial, and you also have to consider the time element that's involved here. So when you look at the big picture, when you say, what do I have to master to be successful? And the other one was relationship. I knew there was one more as we get into. There's 5 things Robin said. The other is you have to master the relationship level. So when you look at all the things you have to master.
I never mastered that one.
In fact,
everybody scammed me and freaking burned me.
Are we better off now than we were 20 years ago? What do most people think of when they hear that question? Financial, money. Are we better off financially? Now, a lot of people, if their health has gone away, they might have a different perspective. But the average person, when they're asked that question, they're going to think, money, money, money.
61st.
Because money is a barometer of success. And I'm telling you right now, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. Buddha. Now, I'd like to say I said that, but I think I could have figured that one out. I think we all could have figured that one out. Once you realize,
well, how do you achieve happiness, though? You meet your needs.
What life is all about. The sad thing is, most of us don't know what life is all about.
Meet your needs. What is your need for meaning?
On so many levels.
Need for peace.
That most of us can never
connection.
Raise ourselves above the ideas of the time.
To get heard. To get seen. For food. For shelter.
In an instant. In fact, our whole lives can change in an instant.
Yeah.
That's how powerful an idea is. It can totally transform your life. And this is my definition of success. Is when I can meet people I've never met before, and I can share knowledge with them.
I've done
that
a lot.
And I know that it can take them in a whole different path. In fact, the man that turned me on to this personality test was the same man who turned me on to raw food.
Who's that?
I remember he told me one time.
Who is this? We're going to hear some wisdom right here.
You know what a runner is? Spiritual
TC
runner.
Fry,
I've never heard that phrase before.
He's talking about Terry Fry, isn't he?
And then when he started to explain that it's people who come into your life that point you in a whole different direction.
So cool. My eyes are sparkling. It's a trip.
You're a runner to me, and I'm a runner to you. And he goes, exactly. And I was a runner to him because he had found this knowledge of raw food when his wife came down with bone cancer. She had breast cancer initially. 8 years later, it comes back as bone cancer. That's very common with cancer. We see it always doing that. And they couldn't operate with the bone cancer, so they had to look for alternatives. And that's when they found raw food. And then they got away from that, so I brought him back into it, and I actually got him into the consulting business, got him back into having, coming out of retirement. Because when I met him, he had just retired working for Dresser Industries. The last 10 years of his career, he spent teaching this personality test to other engineers to make sure that we were successful.
Wish you would name drop.
How do you be successful? A big part of it is knowing yourself, but another big part is knowing other people. So if you're a blind man, and you think you got a wall in front of you.
What is that?
You need to find out that, wait a second.
I see. One is this screen and one is that screen. It's the reflection of both screens on my eyes. That's what's going on.
And some trees and some fans that we have to consider. And that's not easy. So I highly encourage people to learn about this personality test. It's called Personalysis. It's based on quantum physics. I tried to punch a hole in it and I couldn't. It's a really good test. And all it does is it's a way of describing our choices in life under certain circumstances. Are we doing what we like to do, ought to do, or need to do? Am I going to talk, think, or analyze? Interestingly, I'll type that 2 seconds here. If you have just as much in all four, or in the very bottom, if you're equal in all 4 of those categories, you're very indecisive because you don't know what to do under pressure. You'll want to act, talk, think, and analyze equally. Whereas other people are going to be more geared toward one way or the other.
I know what to do under pressure.
And again, this goes back to knowing thyself. And that, I believe, is the key to happiness. So once again, the key to happiness and the key to success is to live your life in your own way. And I can guarantee you, my friends, when you finally can figure out how to do that,
you're in for a treat. That's what he says. You're in for a treat. He always says that. I guarantee, my friends, you're in for a treat. John Rose. No, I dig John Rose, man. John Rose is so cool. Oh, Harley made a new video or something? What's going on? Oh my gosh. How is everybody on this? There's a couple people here. I'm going to a Fruit Luck here in a minute. I'm waiting for a call. It's like send the message. Let's get this shit going. Let's make sure that's not gonna fail. I don't want to fail, you know. Last time this person asked me to go on a fruit shopping trip with me, and they didn't answer their phone when they said they were available, and then only like an hour later they sent a text message and be like, "Oh, we're gonna do another day," and I'm like, "I do this Wednesdays." Yeah, this is the girl. She's got a guy's name and a shaved head, so I'm not sure exactly. You know, like the guy said, opposites attract. John Rose, he got long hair, but let's see. Oh, did you hear about that? The state of Oregon just passed a law that said they are not going to feed people who can't feed themselves. So that means they'll let people die because it's. I agree with euthanasia, though. You know what I mean? But I don't think it comes down to the government. It's not the government's business to make the decision about your death. It is your decision, and hopefully you make that decision before you end up in a chronic situation so that you can say, when this happens, I want to be let die, or I want to actually be preserved. Like, keep feeding me if I'm in a situation where I might die if you don't feed me. I don't know. How you slept? Well, you saw me sleeping. I was sleeping on camera like all day last night. I slept like for 7.5 hours, it looks like. I felt good. I mean, I felt like I could have slept a little bit more. But I lay down in the grass at the farmer's market. I don't really have to do anything at the farmer's market. That's my favorite thing about the community exchange table is I just lay there. But I got an Armenian cucumber. I got fresh black mission figs. Oh, I got a few Armenian cucumbers. What else did I get? I didn't get anything else. But I sold a lot. I sold $155.50 worth of dates and grapefruits and apples. That's cool. Yep, like 36 in apples, $90 in dates. Booyah. I sold a little bit of fruit leather. That fruit leather I made yesterday. Not too many people bought fruit leather. I didn't sell too much of the carob powder either. Those things need to be, yeah. By spending time explaining those things, people buy them. If you don't stand there and talk about those, again, let's message this person. How am I going to message them? Dun, dun, dun. It's only 1:30 though, so say to get there by 4, right? Let me know where and when you want to meet to get to Tempe. That's all I can say. Oh yeah. Then I went to Safeway and I had an avocado and lemon and a couple tomatoes. Oh yeah, heirloom tomatoes, so delicious. Hey William Michael, first time on YouNow. What brings you to YouNow? How would someone end up in my channel on their first time on YouNow? That's surprising. It's probably because of the invites that came earlier, huh? From the real Lady Lou. You're like a fan. You're probably like a fan of the real Lady Lou. Am I correct? What does that mean? You said how you slept W2. How I slept World War II. No, that's just a missing E, huh? Dun, dun, dun. What else is new? I don't want to fuck with my computer. I could go try to fix my computer that crashed the other day and I pulled the video card out. I think it's not the computer that's the problem. It's the power surge supply or something, whatever. The power surge is probably burned out. Tooth pain? Why would I have tooth pain? Alkaline forming food protects your tooth. Fruit makes your teeth stronger. Fruit's alkaline forming. Fruit has calcium in it. Fruit's protective of teeth. Fruit, like, cooked food destroys teeth. The only time I've ever had cavities in my life is from rice. And, like, it's called macrobiotic. Like, my mom left me with this macrobiotic lady for first and second grade. And yeah, that was the problem times. She was eating macrobiotics. Freaking cooked food is crap, dude. Acidic food steals the calcium from your bones. So if you ever when you eat cooked food, your body gets stolen. Your bones get robbed by eating cooked food. The calcium in your bones gets destroyed. Osteoporosis comes from eating cooked food. You can reverse osteoporosis eating fresh food. You can rebuild, destroyed teeth by dry fasting. Yeah, it's fresh fruit that actually protects teeth. Fruit's the bomb. Fruit gives you hydration. Fruit gives you the fiber that makes your immune system. It feeds the bacteria in our colon, the microbiome that makes us healthy. So not only does it give us hydration, it gives us all the vitamins and the minerals we need to protect our bones and feed all of our cells and make them vibrant. The wind. And then, what else? I don't know, man. It's a human food. It's our design. We grew up with fruit. Fruit and us are symbiotically related through 60 million years. Our big brain comes from fruit, they proved the other day. They showed how it happened in the chemicals in the parts of fruit that fed the brain and gave it those nutrients that made that happen. Cooked food has shrunk in our brain, they've proved, in the last 10,000 years by the size of a golf ball. Our brain has been shrunken by eating grains. You met me. Where at? At Conspire or what? On 5th Street? First Friday? Firehouse? Poetry? Oh, there's 2 Kenny C's in the room. How does that work? It's not what I think. It's like the Alina troll, when the Alina troll comes into Vegan Cheetah's room and she's got just like 3 people with the same name of Alina. You can tell the difference, right? Because there's different numbers. Oh my gosh. I gotta get there. I gotta get to the Fruit Luck by 4. I'm gonna bring grapefruits. No, I don't believe in the term cheating. Human beings are polyamorous and bisexual. There's no such thing as cheating. What does that mean even? Like, property is theft. If property is theft, that just means that we can read some property is theft. I could go read some Pierre Proudhon. You guys know who Proudhon is? Pierre Michael Proudhon. Property is theft. Love isn't a feeling like that. Like, when people say that, that's a red flag. Like, that puts forth, like, uh-oh. Because love is an action. Love is the need that we want to meet. It's like, it's a need. We have a need for love, and in order to meet it, we can use, different tactics and strategies. And how do we feel when we get it met? We feel positive, Yeah. Jokes on the Jackal list, yeah. All jokes have victims, huh? Like, is there jokes without victims? I don't think so. I can't think of one. I was like asking someone the other day, what's a joke without a victim? That's a long time ago I asked that. Oh. Oh man, there's 11 people in here right now? That's a record. Oh shit. What am I doing? I'm breaking records. Dang. What happened? How in the world did I can't even get 10 viewers on YouTube. I got 11 viewers on YouNow? What? Huh. How did that happen? Something I do makes people run away or something or avoid me. I'm like, people like get pissed off and they like don't talk to me. They don't. It says I called into work tonight. What? Damn, work. She won't be able to make it because her work called her in. That's lame. Oh well, there's gonna be other new girls at this Fruit Luck. That's what I'm told. So that's maybe better, anyways. Because obviously her gender is strongly lesbian. That's cool. I mean, I grew up in a lesbian town. I don't not have majority of my friends are lesbians. I guess I could say that. So I'll be a friend. Damn it. That's a bummer. I'll just reply bummer. Bummer. I would be if they were gonna call me into work, you know what I do? I don't answer the phone. I'd be like, work is calling, let them leave a message. And they'd be like, oh, we're trying to find someone to cover the shift. They'll say, they won't say, can you cover the shift? And you won't be under the pressure to say yes or no because they can't get a hold of you. If they can't get a hold of you, you're not on call. It's not like who's on call, like freaking paramedics are on call or something, right? Yeah, they'll say, yeah, call us back. Yeah, like I wouldn't freaking otherwise, like they just need the money, I guess. They probably have some kind of rental situation where it's beyond their means, where it's like, shit, if I want to afford better food, I better work more. That's lame. John Rose just told us if you want to be successful, don't do that. At least that's what John Rose said. Well, people who use nonviolent communication, it wouldn't work. Because it takes empathy and authenticity. Those are the only two things I understand is empathy and authenticity. So people who do other than those two things, they don't get what they want. I guess I do humor. I guess it's funny. Is this a victim with this is humor without a joke? You see these lizards having sex on this trash can. It says they're being nasty. Some nasty, trashy lizards because they're on the top of the trash can and they're having. My mom, my mom doesn't even know NBC. She read the book. She doesn't agree though. She doesn't want to because she knows that you can't dominate people if you do NBC. If you're going to do nonviolent communication, you can't dominate, and she wants to dominate. So obviously, it's not going to be something she's interested in. But she knows how to do it. Chooses not to. Chooses not. That's a bummer because it could get really freaking fun if she did. If she didn't freaking act that way because we don't communicate that much. We're very similar, but she doesn't communicate with me. We don't have regular. Oh, the lizards, yeah, I know. We don't have regular communications. Yeah, it's not like I don't have. I wish I need to. I want to find a dental surgeon because I have these two baby teeth, and they never had adults behind them, and they need to get just like one already fell on its own. One's like gone, and the other one is freaking chipped on a corner, and I want to get it yanked out, and I want to get like two implants put in because they always told me to get a bridge, and I guess that's older technology, and dental technology is advanced now, and you get like implants now, I guess, right? Harley's got a whole mouth of implants. You see our Durian Rider? All his teeth are fake. What's up? I just got done with the farmer's market. Nope. I'm waiting. My grandfather was a surgeon, but I'm waiting to go to. I'm against doctors. I think that the medical profession is based on a fraudulent theory, and it's they're allopathic. It's called drugs rotted his teeth. He said, oh yeah, he's definitely a big meth user. He's always talking about his meth with. Remember with Dan the Man, during Dan McDonald, they were always like going on when they would get together. They would go on and on for hours about methamphetamine and drugs and yeah, and how they're pretending to YouTube, pretending to acting, making a personality to cause problems. Then how they're like, we need more hate because they know that by creating controversy, that's how they make money. Well, Rastas told me about going vegan. They told like it's called Ital Vital raw food diet from Jamaica. Whole, fresh, ripe. When hungry till full, seasonal. I don't hate for pizzas. No, he ate those pizzas. I disagreed and I unsubscribed. That's it. Yeah, Cheetah though, Cheetah will say that he knows that the fruit's better, but hasn't got there. Cheetah has like a long journey to make. Cheetah has interest. Cheetah, you can find interesting and like he's charismatic and he knows how to carry on things, even if he will lie and exaggerate, like just like During Rider did. They both lie and exaggerate, but it's in order to for the audience. You know, that's what they'll say, right? It's for the money. I don't know about that. They were just saying eat more than you need because they think that you would get more calories. That is how it works. And if they're going to over exercise, of course they're going to overeat. They're going to fuel that over exercise. But what's going to happen because of that is they're going to pay in the long run. Their vital nerve energy won't be there. You know, they say for the time you over exercise is the less time you live in life. So people who are superstars and like mega athletes, they might prove amazing abilities and that opens potential for them, but at the same time, it also crimps the end of their life and they don't live long. You don't live longer for being a super athlete. You live shorter. In fact, the majority of athletes don't live. They say you can live either like for the extra time that you exercise more or less. I'm relaxing, taking it easy, waiting for the time to come at 4 o'clock. I got 3 hours to burn. What do I do? I'm choosing not to fix my computer right at this moment. I have videos that I want to edit that I was in the middle of editing when the computer crashed. I want to pick back up with those videos. I have videos I want to upload that I downloaded from one account from Black Sphinx and I want to upload to Sunshine Bright. But I'm not going to do that right now either. I have no obligations, no duties. I work 1 day a week. I just did it. I finished. It's not really I work 1 day a week. I go out and gather 1 day a week and I sell that fruit at the market, but the market sells it for me. And I just made $150 by bringing apples and grapefruits and dates and stuff to the market. It was fucking cool. I had a good time. The market was hot today though, man. But there's a lot of beautiful people at the farmers market. People who know what's up and they want health in their life. They come to the farmers market. Cool. Let's see. What else? Maybe there's another video I could watch. Some other thing happened. What else happened today that I don't remember, I don't know about yet? The things I don't yet know about. Let's figure it out.
There is only one success.
There's only one
to be able to
success.
spend your life in your own way. Christopher Morley. Hi, I'm John Rose. And in this video, I'm going to
take a moment to explain to you. This is the video right here. It says, I have reported him for cyberbullying. Oh shit. There's a new fucking Joe Betts video.
year or so, Name has been trying to silence me by using cyberbullying. What he's been doing is he has been creating a smear campaign that I'm not vegan and eat KFC, that I'm sexually harassing young women at my house, and that I'm only in this for the money, and basically any other thing that he can.
Damn, look at all those receipts he has.
Uses a lie to smear me.
He's got a lot of receipts.
His objective is to stop me not only making things like nutritional videos that don't fit with his narrative, but even just speaking up about changes in my life, like the recent changes in Chiang Mai and my celebration of that. So I'm not going to back down, and instead what I've done
Hell yeah,
is I've
fuck Durian Rider. Let's shut fucking Durian Rider down. Durian Rider is the biggest scam artist I've ever fucking known. Nobody worse than Durian Rider in the world. So let's fucking let's shut his shit down. There's no king of trolls. That's a fucking negativity. That's a person who's negative and doesn't respect themselves or others. And they sell McDonald's KFC ads. Harley worked at McDonald's to steal that shirt.
Weapon is used against the community, highlighting my case. And I just wanted to play the beginning of that video for those who haven't seen it.
Well, any label's not a compliment.
Of how it's structured
Fireworks.
And how it's used to harm each person.
The fireworks are going to get worse.
And after that, I'm going to show you some new information to show you what's going on now and how it hasn't changed and how it's continuing to harm my reputation and the reputation of others. Then I got a message from a friend of mine, and they said he's trying to say that you're messing with 20-year-olds on his Tumblr. And he says here, look, this is another anonymous post, which he writes most of these. Absolutely.
No,
I don't like you particularly. I don't like you particularly. Right? So he's wrote this, right? Because what he does is he gets a situation in his life he doesn't like.
Did you see how there's a whole group, the whole Chiang Mai biking festival on the last week had rebelled against him and rejected him? And even the people in Adelaide, he started a biking community there, and they've actually kicked him out of it. So he's in, I don't know how Tory can stick with him, but it must just be for the sex, huh? Poor Tory.
And then magically some random person happens to ask him a question about this. Look, I don't like you particularly, but respect your honesty. Joe Best is biggest scumbag using those messages against you, especially in the context he put it. And he is the one giving you advice on how to deal with a breakup. That's such hypocrisy. Now, before we read the rest of that message, remember that before one of my friends said to me, whatever Julian Ryder accuses you of, he's doing. So here he is accusing freely of bringing in the names of innocent women, or bringing in the characters of innocent women into the story. Now, look, he said here, she's such a nice person. The girl he brings in now is a nice person. Here he is accusing freely of using disposable pawns, her fans as pawns. He's doing the same thing. Whatever he accuses you of, he's doing. Now, let's have a look at this message in full.
Projection.
So what he writes is, recently he invited this East Euro girl to stay over, but she felt creeped out by his vibe and left soon after. The very first thing is that this particular person contacted us to come and stay at the house. He tries to make it like I've invited this girl to stay over. No, she came to be part of a beautiful raw community in the beautiful city of Chiang Mai, and we have a great time at the house, and so did she.
Already.
He tried to play mind games with her to get her to stay and make her feel really guilty for doing what
I like
she
that girl.
wanted
She's so
to do.
nice. Sabrina?
Leave a toxic house.
Sabrina's such a nice person.
And she is 20. He is a mind manipulator and hides
Wow.
behind his
Poor
banker
Sabrina.
smile and charisma. But one of Julian Ryder's weaknesses, as you begin to study him, is that he makes very predictable moves. Here's one with freely. It involves photoshopped, out of context, innocent young women. This is always like using to your agenda. And he's so used to using this formula, he's got bored of it himself. Yeah. Photoshopped, / out of context, / innocent young women, / agenda. Do you know what I mean? Wow. When he used to do this back in the day, it worked because no one could see the formula. But how many people now are going, here he is again, accusing another dude of doing what we all know he's doing anyway. He always uses this for everybody.
Exactly.
There is a definite structure. It involves, like, you're a predator, you've taken him out of context, you're doing something to your own agenda. And if you're a guy, he always tries to link you to a young female. He first tried it with the teenage girl that I used in my video about weight gain that he instigated, and he knows that's not going to work because everyone saw that video and it was ridiculous. So what he's doing now is he's remembered, hey, there's another woman that stayed at his house and she wasn't there very long. Let me see if I can link him to her in the negative way. But where you really see his pattern, his predictable formula, is on his Tumblr posts. It's a set formula. The setup, the kick down, and the takeaway. So the setup is the fake question. I was thinking,
that's what he does on Tumblr. He makes fake questions, and then he sets it up.
What's going on there? Is he trustworthy? That's like the setup. And then you get the knockdown, which is this big spiel that I spoke about a bit earlier, about how I'm 50, she's 20.
Okay, he's trying to ruin your business and life in Chiang Mai. This is serious. I don't know why he is always trying to be king of the vegan mountaintop by shoving everyone else off of any part of the mountain. He is just a sad boy.
This is like the message he wants you to take away. But in order for you to get to believe that message, he's got to do the setup and the knockdown first. So in this instance,
he said my house is now closed.
He's all talk, and his entire channel now is dedicated to taking me out of context.
Joe Best did take,
just because he got so
angry, did take Joe Best down. Chased him out. Wow.
And started riding up the mountain with our crew.
I think that people should stop putting people who make YouTube videos on a pedestal, believing everything they say. We need to employ critical thinking and go through videos,
Let me know if I can
personal
help with
words, and make
anything.
up
I'm
their
really glad I
choices.
came to stay at your place and hope nothing changed because of this. And what does she mean? mean when
Wow.
she says,
Well,
because
thank you
of
for the
this,
hearts,
all
Farrah
what
Manson.
happened was she was staying at the house. She was going to stay a month or longer, but she decided to leave after, I think it was 2 weeks or, about 2 weeks, because she said she wanted to do more cycling. She's already 100% raw, and she didn't really need the support at the house to stay raw, so she wanted to do more fitness stuff, and she decided to leave. Now, because I learn as I go in my life, what I do with the very young people, and I said this to her on multiple times, you don't have to give me any notice. You can leave whenever you want. And she'd been talking about staying for months, and then she decided to leave after 2 weeks. And some people feel bad about doing that, but I explained to her before, during, and after, that's not a problem. You're at that age where you just want to explore. I don't want you to feel like you've got to be committed to any kind of project. You go and enjoy yourself, and I'll see you later. And that's it. It's really very simple. So that was the video from September, and he didn't like this proof that I had. So what he did after that is that whenever he talked about girls at my house, he never used anybody that was actually a real figure. It was just someone that he made up in his head, because you can't get evidence from someone that doesn't exist. This is how low he will go. And why did this whole thing start? So what sparked that particular Tumblr outrage was I made a video showing the messages that his ex-partner had showed about his bragging about having sex with various young women at the festival who were in high school this time last year, or, it was zero emotional investment. And I felt that that was something that people needed to know. And he became so outraged by this that he was blasting me with so much hatred in my Facebook. And remember, I'm sharing messages that have already been published online by his ex-partner. That's it. And he is going ballistic. And the pressure was so intense that in the end I caved in and I agreed to take the video down. Basically, by the time of this conversation, I thought my video was wrong and harmful, and I'd done something bad to him. And then what's come to light this year, they absolutely were valid videos. But as I said, the pressure was so intense, and I felt so overwhelmed, and also felt guilty, like I get drama shamed.
That
One of
girl's
the
not
things I'll
going
talk about in
nowhere.
another
She
video
said she called
is
off.
what I call drama
She
shaming,
got called to work.
where people who don't really want to be making videos like this make them,
Oh my God, so many
and then get
comments.
slammed for getting back into the drama, so you
He's
stop
massively
doing it. When
underestimated
really,
the
this
people
isn't
he
drama.
thinks he
This
played.
is
Doing
conversations
exactly
we need to
this,
talk
standing
about,
up
because
and
it's seriously
speaking out,
affecting
is the
people's
right way
lives
to tackle it.
negatively.
He didn't count on
Now, I know
those
people
two
might think this is minor,
he
think
targeted
I'm moaning, being
because
a victim, but I want you to
they
explain
were
that
passionate
this
and
is
had a
psychological
desire.
bullying, and that's what he does. He gets into your mind and sees where you are, and then
To
does
spread
what's
a
most
message
painful
and to be
for
part
your
of
particular
something
situation.
using those
So
qualities
in this
against him.
conversation, I
If
tell
people can
him
let others
about
know
chicks.
about
I'm
these
seriously
childish
on a
games
vacation
and
right now.
diminish
My
his
last girl did
power,
my head in.
you're
Now, you have to
taking
know
away his
there was a
toys
big
and
scandal in
fixing the problem.
2015.
Now
I
he
was
started
dating someone
throwing
in
a
the house.
reference
I
to
never revealed it
Asperger's
because I
to
was
plant
protecting her
seeds of
against
an
a
excuse in people's minds.
parade
I'm an
that was going
extraordinary,
on,
forgiving
and he
person
knows that, and
and
I
almost
know
always
that.
want to give
And
people a chance,
since
but
then,
time's
I haven't
up
dated anyone, and I've
for
not been
a
interested.
very
It
long
was just a very
time.
traumatic
You
time,
know I've been
and he
saying this
knows
since I
that.
started my
So
channel.
what could be
Who said
more
that?
damaging to a person that is
White
recoiling from
pariah?
dating due to a traumatic experience? Make up lies that they're a sleaze bag trying to date every woman that comes into their contact. That's what I'm talking about. He puts you in a position where your mind is like, what
This
the F?
guy is a complete
Like the
loser.
opposite of what
Thankfully,
you're
the
doing.
world is
He'll make
crashing
people believe
around
that's what you're
down
doing.
around him.
It's very, very frustrating and
I'm
exhausting
glad the world's
having
crashing
someone
around
do
there
that.
too.
So he asks who it was,
It's
and
so
then his
important that we
advice
bring
to
him
me
down,
is to get a
stop him
vasectomy,
from
mate,
doing what
and
he did. He
rampage
fucking
some
worked
Thai
against
girls
me
on
when I was
Tinder.
trying to fight for my
Like,
son,
he just doesn't understand
and he
the
called me a fucking
emotional
scammer and
complexities of
fucking
life.
all these
It's
names.
like
He called
that's
me like
not a
a drug
solution
user, a
to
scammer, all
wanting
this
to
shit.
have
And
a
how's
really
that going to help
beautiful
me in my case at
relationship
all?
with
That shut
someone.
me down. He
That
told
is a
people
solution
not to
for
donate money for
immediate
me to
deep
fight for my
sex,
lawyer.
which is not what the problem is here. It's not what I'm looking for, and it's not the challenge. But that's where he takes it
What
to.
a toxic individual
So
Dylan
he
Ryder
knows
is.
he made
He
up
built
these
up his
Tumblr
fame
posts, and I know
with
he's made up
Victorian
these Tumblr
lifestyle and
posts. So I
freely.
ask him to take the
He
Tumblr
sold
posts
out
down.
promoting
They're
Sprite,
ridiculous.
even
He says
denouncing
which
Gary
ones.
Yourofsky as a
So I tell him,
sellout.
it's all
He
these
is a
fake messages that he
douchebag.
wrote. He wrote about sex at the mansion. He even said I got someone pregnant and refused to pay for their abortion. And numerous people saying they stayed at the mansion and they felt creeped out. And again, he knows exactly what to say to damage you the most. It's almost genius if it wasn't so harmful. So as an older guy, creeped out. If you're a younger guy, you're a
hard
thirsty
because
fuckboy.
you live in the
He just
same
knows exactly
city,
where to
so
place the
small.
language to make you
Part of
seem as
you must
disgusting
have
as
wondered
possible.
if you
And thinking he's a
bump
rational
into
human
him
being,
in
I
certain
appeal to him. I
places
say,
or a
look, I
horrible
worked my
pressure
arse
which
off
must have
to clear my
impacted.
name.
on the
don't hit
decision
on any girls at the
hopefully
house. I've never
coming to an end
hit
now.
on a girl at my house, not once. The one girl that came to stay,
Jill.
I met her online 7 months prior, and the one girlfriend, just the one girlfriend I had in the house asked me out.
No,
She
it's got
approached
sodium
me,
phosphate
and
in it.
that is
It's
it.
poisonous.
And he knows this.
Sprite's got
So he
fucking
agrees
preservatives.
to
It's
delete
not
them
healthy.
now, and he does so.
Any man
And the
who
video I
does not
showed
follow
the
him
messages that
blindly
his
sees
ex-partner
he's a
posted,
threat.
he checked and said it's on private, and I said
Yep.
yes.
Any
And
man
he
who
said,
does
but you
not
just took them
follow
down, there's a
him
big difference. So
blindly
following that, I
sees
deleted them
as a threat.
permanently.
I see.
Permanently
Anybody who's
took
not
my video.
following him, he sees
Now,
as
I
a
want to
threat.
put this into context. At that time, I was making a lot of videos about his dietary recommendations, and I stayed respectful. If you go and watch any of the videos, there's quite a lot, but he puts out a lot of content. That's why there's a lot. I was addressing the Sprite. I was addressing the inconsistent weight loss information. I was addressing the fact that he said the plant-based doctors were backing him when they were not. I was addressing the fact that he was using individuals that I know weren't following his advice, and he was claiming that they were, and so on and so forth. And I felt all of these, with my freedom of speech, needed to be addressed in my unique way, and that's what I did. What he does in return is he attacks you at your most sensitive point with lies. But what the audience believe, they believe that I'm telling the truth and he's telling the truth and we're just battling. It's not the case. What's happening here is I'm being emotionally manipulated to shut up. We absolutely have a right to state what we think is accurate nutritionally because he can. We have a right to pick apart recommendations that we know to be harmful because that's what he supposedly does. But it's just when you talk about something that he said and pull it apart because it's so heinously incorrect, he goes ballistic and he attacks you below the belt, but he has a way using victim hero speech where he makes it seem justified. And he also uses this repetition of character smearing so that people think of you in a certain way, and when they comment, this all comes across. So here's one I got just yesterday, and it said the Tumblr comments, the degrading ones, started after you made tons of videos trying to destroy name with hell business. It all comes down to business for you. Now, this is a confusing comment because I don't believe he has a business, and I don't believe that I'm trying to destroy it. I was trying to defend my right as a diabetic and a former binge eater to share what nutritional things I felt worked and what I felt were harmful information. And I got
Look at
a
this.
lot of positive
P.S.
feedback.
He is afraid of losing
from the
business because
community
there
with
is
regard
little
his
to
dietary
none since he left
analysis. I
freely.
used other doctors
He
and
is
I used
been
research material.
and
It
is
wasn't just
trying
me
to
with
find
the face
people
to the
to
camera
blame so he can
saying
avoid
stuff that
responsibility
my
for his own
manipulated
fate.
supporters would then go and echo around the
makes sense.
community, which is what he does. And that's the problem here. So what this does is it makes people against you. It makes you look like you're attacking him, that he's done nothing wrong, and you're trying to close his business, bully him out of the existence, or whatever else it might be. So anyway, that's the backdrop. So what happened after this was as soon as I permanently deleted the video, all of the Tumblr posts came back. Simply because I made a video saying you don't have to eat 3,000 calories a day. And this is kind of when I began to see why people are so scared to speak up against him. Not even against him, just against his nutritional information. Because he fights with such venom in such an underhanded way, trying to find your most psychological weak spot to make you feel exhausted by saying stuff that's 180 degrees from where you are in life based on what he knows about you, to completely undermine you, undermine your credibility, make his audience think you're a bully while you're being bullied. And it's just mind-numbing. It makes you fold if you don't have strength of mind. So I can really see why people don't like to take him on. But this is a really important topic for us to discuss because what this does is it's why he's controlled YouTube veganism with his brand, because he stamps out, attacks and destroys anybody that has a different opinion.
He did stamp
If you
out
go
and
and
destroy
watch
me
Vegans
3 times.
Unmasking Part 3, in there he shows a list of all the people that he's attacked over the years, and it's probably not even all, but it's so many. It's all the big voices of YouTube veganism have been attacked, targeted, silenced, destroyed, discredited in one way or
I'm
another.
not on the list.
Now,
But
I've stripped away
there's a lot
some of
of
the
people there.
stuff he puts around these posts to make them seem humorous or harmless. But when you read the subconscious content that's going into your brain, I got someone pregnant and I didn't pay for the abortion.
He's
Someone was
massively
mega
underestimated the
creeped
people he
out.
thinks he's
Then he
played.
uses
Doing
his
exactly
partner
this, standing
to
up
say
and
that they
speaking
both
out, is
met
the right way
someone
to tackle
who
it.
fleed my
You know,
house or left
he didn't
my
count on
house
the people he
feeling
targeted
kryptonite
because they were
guilt trips.
passionate and would
Then he says things like, I've lived here for 4 years and never had a girlfriend in that time because I told him that I'm not dating. It's only been a year and a half. And then he goes on to say that I'm 50 and dates 19-year-olds when he just said I haven't dated anybody. Then he talks about how I'm just jealous that fit women leave my house and go and move to the mountainside. And
There's
that's
no
something
such
that
thing
we
as
enjoyed when
Christ.
girls would meet
That's a
cyclists
fake
and move
Roman
out. It
myth.
was like,
Jesus
yay.
is a real
And it's,
man
you know,
who
it's true.
followed
I have hidden cameras in
Pythagoreanism, which
every
is a
room.
form of
How
health.
unnerving is that for a woman
It's a
even
health
to think
school.
about that? And then this thing that I'm turning
No
away
Christ.
women who
Christ
apply,
is a
men
lie
and
of
men who
hierarchy
apply,
and
but I've
power
got
and
a room all
manipulative
year for the
abusive
girls.
power
Then he
over
talks
the
about the
Roman
money
Empire and the
before
new
and
Holy
then
Roman
money
and
are
popes
soon
and
parted.
Catholic
And
Church.
that's another thing that goes into
And
your
any
brain about
Christian
me.
freaking cult
Ask him
brand
how much he
separated
charges for
from
the
that,
rooms there.
based on the
Again,
myth
this is
of
just
redemption.
more continuous, perpetual
No redemption.
brainwashing,
Redemption is
and it's
fucking
like
a
a
form of
sucker
violence.
born every minute. And these are just responses to the questions that he's written himself, just so
Jesus
he
is
can
my
do this to
homeboy,
people
but
who are
no,
reading.
I will not
And then
let
he talks
someone
about
lie
coming
about
to the fruit
Jesus and call him
festival, but
Christ.
they don't want
That's not
creepy old
true
men
whatsoever.
like sweaty
We
Joe
have the
Best.
proof and
I mean,
evidence to
think
show.
about the images that these conjure up in your mind.
Only
He preys on
delusion,
young
people who
girls
get
who
delusion
have
or tricked
zero
or
travel
abused by
smarts.
family
When
members
you
or
add it all up
cultures and
like this, it's
society
so damaging. And then he
fall
starts
into that
attacking my
trap,
veganism.
obviously. I hope
You know,
you
the
can get out,
KFC you
Fabio.
eat is the KFC you wear because we're a vegan
Get out and
community.
get
If
some
we were something else, it would
rationality
be
in your
something
life
else. How can he still be
and some
fat?
beautiful
Buckets of
nature
KFC.
and some
Chicken is
respect
not
for the
fruit.
true Jesus
LOL.
who
It's the
freaking
same at
was in a
smearing.
group of
You know,
equals, not
even with
the
B12
leader
shots,
of anything.
unless
He's
you've
just a
got
person
fat
who
arms to
respects
get
others
the
and they
needle
work
through,
together
like, you know, obese Joe
in the
Best. Now, I'm a
mathematical, it's
trained
called.
hypnotherapist, so I know that when you use humor, what you're doing is you're disarming the
And love
conscious,
is in the way
critical
that when you
mind
use love
who
that
says
way, that's a form
that's
of
a stupid thing
violence.
to say, and it allows your
What did they
subconscious
do?
mind
Can
to
you get
absorb the
specific?
message, which is Joe Best is obese, and in that way, he's flawed in some way. And we continue. He starts using triangulation here, talking about you against people that you know and what they may or may not have said about you. And that caused issues. And then he talks about it's impossible to get fat unless I join Joe Best each night at the Chiang Mai KFC. And then someone apparently saw Joe Best leaving Chiang Mai KFC. And we as humans are designed to
Love
believe
matters,
what
but
people
that's
say.
when you use it
makes
that
life
way as a
easier.
feeling.
So
It's
when
like,
someone
Mama,
tells
you wish
you
we don't
lies
do that
like
on
this,
purpose,
a part of you
because
goes,
that leads to
could be
people
true.
being not having love and
To
acting like,
highlight
oh,
this,
it's
a
not
friend of
happens.
mine
It's
was
internal
recently
love is
featured in this
inherent and
Tumblr post as
consistent.
I
It
was
happens
looking
all
at
the
doing the
time.
research for this
It's
video.
a need we
And
have.
I
It's
saw a
within
comment
us.
about
It's
them, and I know it's not
part
true,
of
but my
unity.
brain went,
It's
oh,
a
I wonder if that's
universal
true.
need.
It's just how we work as humans. And here's the summary. Here's the
And there's
final
nothing to
point
do
of
with
what he
mythology.
wants
You
you
see,
to
you've
think
fallen
about
into a
me.
trap of
He
believing in
just wants
mythology.
sex,
I mean,
money, and
this is
fried
support
chicken.
network for you, and that's
Now,
cool, I guess. But don't
that
be
is a
forcing other
very
people.
undermining
You know what I mean? When
statement
you
to
force
my
other people, that's using
intentions
force.
in
Using
life.
force is against
And
liberty.
as I
You know what I
said,
mean?
you may think
If
I'm
someone
taking
didn't
this
ask
all
you for
too
something, why would
seriously,
you do
but
something?
put
You know,
yourself
like
in
you
my
can make a
shoes,
request and
and
ask
having
them if
someone
they
that
would
has a
like
very
to
large
say,
following
would you
who's
like
very
to
active
check
in
out
a
this thing
community
that
that
I
you love,
found that
where you're
like
trying to
people they get
establish
together and
yourself
they give
as
you
someone
positive
who's
energy to each
reliable,
other?
helpful,
You could say something
friendly,
like that and
and
ask people if
can
they would like to
contribute
do
to this
that.
community. And you're
But when
constantly
you're basing it on
climbing this
mythology of
slippery
this
wall
Christ
covered
myth, it's
with
bullshit,
vegan
you
butter.
know?
That's what
And
it
people
feels
will
like.
stand
You're
up to you and you
constantly
will get
being pushed
alienated.
down.
And that's
And it's
communicated
becoming
for doing
less
that. Because
important
that's not
because more and
respectful to
more
other
people are
people.
seeing through the
You're not going to meet
fraud
other people for
that this
respect
is
by
and the
forcing respect
defamation
on
and
people. That's not, you
slander
can't do that.
that this is.
And if
But,
you try to
this
do
has
it,
been
it will
going on
disconnect.
for me now about 2 years of this. And
Where do you
it's
come
like
from?
people don't understand that when
USA?
as a
You
human
say
being,
God is love.
it's like
Yeah, I don't see you
you really
improving. I gotta
rely on
just
your reputation
give you the boot.
to carry you through life. So that when people meet, they go, oh, I've heard about you. Yeah,
We
you're
don't
a cool
tolerate
guy.
Christians, Muslims, or Jews around here because there's no such thing as a Christian, a Muslim, or a Jew. Those are people who experience child abuse through a culture that we're going to help them get away from. But if you're not going to get away from abuse and you want to abuse other people with the abuse that people have abused on you, we're going to not let that happen. We're going to protect from the myth of Christ.
Of pile of poo on your shoulder, so nobody ever really gets to meet you. And what it does to you on an individual basis, it's like someone out there blowing a foghorn that you know is a complete manipulation. And what they can say in a 30-second sentence takes you 20 minutes to answer in a video. So it's very, very time consuming to deal with this in this way. I haven't figured out what is the right way to handle this, but I know I want it to stop because I want to have my right to talk about my life and share about the things that have happened to me, good and bad, on YouTube without me being censored by this pressure of venomous lies being made against me by a person with a large social media reach in order to silence me, so I put my tail between my legs and scupper under some rock or go to some other community. That's what we're facing here. As I said, this person makes vegans, which are already a scattered community, it makes you choose between sanity and community. So what do you all think? What do you think?
We can have sanity and community.
Because it's not just me, it's happening to a lot of people. I know it doesn't sound that important, and there isn't really so many people that read that damn thing. I've said this before in other videos, but it still is psychological warfare. You know, you have to keep reminding yourself that no one's reading it. But then your own mind says to you, what if they are? And then you come across people, like the commenter I mentioned earlier, who are reading it. So I just want to open it up for debate and discussion. What do you think is the solution for us as vegans to move forward under this hatred and vicious slander attacks among anybody who has a different opinion to him? Please post your answers in the comments below. Like up this video if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's it. Damn. Right on. What else we got here? Dude. Oligarch America.
I'm Max Kaiser. This is the Kaiser Report. As we've been saying for quite some time, the problem with really low interest rates engineered to move money from savers to speculators and bank bailouts is that it encourages all kinds of oligopolistic, monopolistic activities, right?
Wow, you kind of made up a new word there, monopolistic, which sounds kind of like cannibalistic and monopolistic.
I thought it was like a ballistic, like a missile. Like a monopolistic is like the weaponization of monopolization.
Either way, we've come up with some ingenious ideas here on Kaiser Report. We're still in Mexico City, and news continues to happen north of the border, however, and we're going to look at some headlines from there. And it actually has one of your favorite words while we're down here in Mexico, and that is eat. Max loves to eat his Mexican food. He loves his tacos, his tuna tacos.
Yeah.
Amazon eats up Whole Foods as the new masters of
Max
the universe.
Kaiser. Imagine Max Kaiser go raw vegan.
Unlike our old moguls,
He'd calm his ass down. He's all out of control, Max, because he's fucking.
But a world where most people are
has his shit together, though.
by a state-provided basic income.
I won't say that Max doesn't know his shit.
So here you have Amazon, who is using its inflated stock price that got that way by being able to bully its way into a number of different markets and competitively underprice the competition to put them out of business before raising prices. Here they want to get into the food business. And when this announcement was made, a lot of the food supermarket stocks crashed. Even Walmart had a pullback because you're taking a business model, Jeff Bezos, offering food at below cost to get more people onto Prime, Amazon Prime, or some other service. And he's already said, or there's already been talk about getting rid of cashiers, getting rid of a lot of jobs, delivering food by drone, using these Whole Food stores as essentially drone launching pads and warehouses to re-engineer the food market in America. But just like taxi drivers, truck drivers, cashiers, these are the minimum wage or a little bit more than minimum wage jobs that are the bulwark of the American economy. If you get rid of taxi drivers with automated Ubers and you get rid of truck drivers with automated trucks, now you're going to get rid of cashiers at Whole Foods and other grocery stores that would have to compete now with Amazon/Whole Foods. You're going to put millions and millions, tens of millions of people out of a job. They're onto basic income, as you say.
This is the likes of Mark Zuckerberg and people like that are coming forward and saying, well, maybe we need a basic income because they themselves don't want to give up their monopolistic positions over eyeballs on the internet. So, for example, I saw that something like 4 out of $10 spent online is spent on Amazon, and they hope to capture even more of it. It doesn't look like there's any sort of antitrust actions coming anywhere on the horizon. And they said in this article, they point out that with this $13.7 billion acquisition of Whole Foods, Amazon's Jeff Bezos has made clear his determination to dominate every facet of mass retailing, likely at the cost of massive layoffs in the $800 billion supermarket sector. But this, if anything, understates the ambitions of America's new ruling class, almost entirely based in San Francisco and Seattle, as it moves to take over industries from entertainment and transportation to energy and space exploration that once thrived and competed outside the reach of the oligarchy.
Right, so you'd have like Saudi Arabia, essentially princes who have access to cheap money, like the princes of Saudi Arabia have access to cheap oil. They just pump oil and give themselves all the profits, and the rest of the economy are slaves. They're serfs to the princes. America's turning into a serf and lord economy. Jeff Bezos becomes a lord, everyone else is a serf. Maybe they augment their income with a gig economy, delivering locally a couple of hot meals, or they are hired to fix a plumbing job or something like that. Of course, the basic income that is talked about by the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, he's the guy that wants to distribute the basic income. If they come up
He
with
says, I knew human rights and freedom was fucked when the government started outsourcing everything they could.
They then become
The best summary of the problems faced by the masses.
Yep. Chatting on your Facebook, and if
you
click on enough ads,
forgot the us versus them distraction used to keep everyone's eye off the real issue, aka the Matrix, as some like to call it. But yeah, you nailed it. Very astute waking consent.
Basically, Whole Foods go down market and to be available for those who are on state subsistence to make some sort of capture this market. And I think probably to get state support for his monopoly sort of positions. Now, the next section of this article go into specific companies of these big five, like the FANG shares, the emergence of oligarchic America, the section is called. As is founded 2 decades ago, Amazon revenue has grown 8-fold in the last decade. Bezos now wants
I'm part of the problem. You know why I'm part of the problem, people? Check this out.
As an Amazon storefront. He has done this by convincing investors that despite scant profits, the ample rewards of monopoly await. Kroger or the corner food store enjoys no such luxury. With a seemingly endless supply of capital and the prospect of never-ending expansion, the Silicon Valley Puget Sound oligarchy now accounts for 6 of the world's 13 richest people and virtually all billionaires who are not either very old or merely inheritors. Of course, Bezos also owns the Washington Post, which is a very important newspaper, particularly in shaping the conversation on the cable news or the nightly news or in the halls of Congress. So they shape the opinion of this world that Bezos wants to turn into an Amazon storefront.
Yeah, well, typically when a company acquires another company, you would have some earnings dilution because the cost of acquiring another company. Whole Foods is a $13 billion company. In this case, Amazon's stock price went up, and the analysts on Wall Street are talking about this being earnings accretive, that earnings instantaneously are improved because the cost of acquiring this $13 billion food retailer is zero in terms of its cost of funds, cost of capital. They have the money on the balance sheet, but they could just as easily borrow $13 billion from Wall Street at virtually no cost whatsoever. This is part of what I call the interest rate apartheid wall, where if you're Bezos, you can borrow money at zero or negative to make an acquisition like Whole Foods and immediately accrue earnings bumps. But if you're an employee at Whole Foods and you're a cashier and you go to payday lender because you don't have any savings and you need a medical emergency, you're going to pay 3,000% annualized rates on that money that you need. So it's 3,000% for the cashier in an emergency, 0% for Bezos. That's the apartheid interest rate wall. The Bantustans in America are growing prolifically. They talk about 30 million people in Mexico on the verge of starvation. In America, you've got 100 million or more now below the poverty line, and I'm sure 10 or 20% of that, 10 or 20 million, are now on the verge of starvation. So, competitively speaking, these two countries are competing with their multi-million-dollar verge of starvation class.
So then the article goes on
commodifying starvation. That's crazy.
The biggest corporation in the world. I think it was the first to cross $1 trillion, or it's close to $1 trillion. Just close to it. but the article says that Apple, even as it evades American taxes, enjoys a $250 billion cash reserve that surpasses that of the United Kingdom and Canada combined. Their new $5 billion headquarters in Cupertino, like those of firms such as Facebook, Alphabet, and Salesforce.com, reflect the kind of heady excess that earlier generations of moguls might have admired. The peculiar nature of the tech economy rewards even to failures, like Yahoo's Marissa Mayer, who earned $239 million, almost $1 million a week, as she drove one of the net's earliest stars towards oblivion.
Well, the executive shuffling with these multi-hundred-million-dollar payouts, regardless of whether you succeed or not, again, usually executives, their bonuses would be tied to, let's say, success or earning success, but you don't have any earning success. You have money being borrowed at 0% and then stock buybacks that make it artificially look like earnings are going up, and then the bonuses that are tied to stock options are worth a lot, so people who are actually failing get paid hundreds of millions of dollars. Speaking of failure, here's the situation over at Uber, the private company worth $68 or $70 billion. A lot of
theoretically
the executives are leaving or have left, including the CEO. Who are they going to parachute in now? Possibly, is rumored, Sheryl Sandberg, the CFO over
at the time
Facebook.
we're recording this. Yes.
And so that I'm sure will be another multi-hundred-million-dollar. She's already a billionaire. So this could be a multi-hundred-million-dollar for her, regardless of whether the company succeeds or not. There's a lot of people speculating that the underlying core business model of Uber is unsustainable, and this company's going to go the way of Enron, multi-billion-dollar goose egg.
I want to remind you of that point I just made. Apple has reserves, cash reserves of $250 billion, which is more than that of the United Kingdom and Canada.
Right?
Apple has more money, more cash than the United Kingdom or Canada. They are more powerful than a nation state. And this is one of the things that we need to worry about. This is what's so worrying about a world where they're trying to push through the likes of TPP or TTIP or these trade deals, which give them these companies that have more reserves than nation states, another level of justice where only they have access to all this justice and a legal system of their own.
Right, well, like we saw with the HSBC case, the failure to prosecute because they're protected under the Bank of International Settlements and the FSB, the Financial Stability Board out of Switzerland. So Apple and Google or Alphabet and these other Facebook, they are actually answerable to governance clauses and corporate governance documents that are, according to treaties or bills like TPP and others, make them exempt from compliance to the U.S. Constitution or the U.S. law. So they're exempt from the law. If they get in trouble, they would sign a deferred prosecution agreement like HSBC did, which means they get no prosecution. So the Constitution is really no longer in force.
Yes, and then this article moves to a study from CompetitionPolicyInternational.com, and what it finds is that the tech booms of the 1980s and 1990s rode on a wave of entrepreneurialism that provided enormous opportunities for millions of Americans. The current wave is characterized by stagnant productivity, consolidation, and disparities in wealth not seen since the mogul era. As one recent paper demonstrates, the super platforms of the so-called Big Five depress competition, squeeze suppliers, and drive down earnings, much as the monopolists of the late 19th century did. So this is the environment of depressing wages. You were there during the first dot-com boom when there was a general sense of prosperity across all America and jobs being created and productivity was soaring. Now productivity, we know, is in decline and wages are being depressed.
Well, yeah, the dot-com era, you had Amazon acquire many startups and use intellectual property patent laws for things like one-click shopping to create a barrier to entry for competitors. So gaming the system. Anyway, all right, we got to go to the second half. Don't go away. Much more coming your way.
Who's in the second half? What are you going to talk about next? What's going down?
Welcome back to the Kaiser Report. I'm Max Kaiser. Time now to turn to economist and columnist Alejandro Nadal. Alejandro, welcome.
Yeah, that was a fraud. That's why.
Great to have
Zeitgeist
you
movement
on.
was a total fucking
Here
fraud.
we are in Mexico City. We're meeting lots of interesting folks, and we've got incredible opinions about a number of different issues. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
They would ban people. There was so much infighting going on there. Yeah. Peter Joseph was like, no action, only awareness. weird ideas like that. Like, we're already part of direct action groups that were doing things, you know, and like the Zeitgeist Go starts and they don't want no one to do nothing. That's what their idea was. Do nothing, just spread ideas to do something. What the fuck is wrong with that, Peter Joseph? And they turned to proprietary technologies and banned all the open source kids who created their networks, their platforms, and built it. And then Jacques Fresco died. Jacques Fresco told Peter Joseph he knows nothing, and they need to have a kid and come down to Venus and live.
We need to see if, more important, if what he's going to do with NAFTA. Because the wall rhetoric is also.
It was just stolen ideas from other people. That movie, it was just put together from other people's ideas. It wasn't his ideas.
So,
Peter Joseph was just a fraud. Yeah, Peter Joseph is a bully, narcissistic durian rider type who wants to control other things. Control issues. Anybody who gets power turns into megalomaniacal, some sort of megalomaniacal internal freaking psychology or some sort. I'm not trying to get power. I don't want to control anybody for just that reason, because I know I would be just as susceptible as anybody else. I'm not trying to do it.
Mexico has been drowning in
look what James Balin did to me, for instance, facing that problem right now.
It's not the most or the second most dangerous country. If I go to Chicago, I will not be driving down Caprini Green, for example. That's pretty dangerous to do even in daylight. So
not without this technology, these monopolists.
Or one city or one country is a dangerous place to go. I think it all depends on your perspective.
He removed my admin status from the 80-10-10 group and kicked me out and blocked me and banned me.
Violence is, and the drug cartels are fed by American bankers and HSBC.
Lied and said, "Oh, we appreciate you with all the files and all the support, all the help you shared." And the next thing he did is blocked and banned me totally. I know.
Trump doesn't mention that.
Exactly. And the other thing is that you have an economy that...
Let's pause this for a second and talk about that. What happened was his wife, I think her name is whatever, I forgot her, Linda Bayland. She is sleeping with another guy, and she's living with some other guy, and he's paying for it. So James Bayland, I guess he has some job he doesn't enjoy, and he's really angry in life, and he does beat her, I guess. So she wants nothing to do with him, but then she's also probably controlling him. So it seems like they both have issues, and they have a huge relationship, social drama issue. And he's stolen all these books from this guy who was going to give him $10,000 worth of property in Ecuador or something like that. And then he wants to fight him on the internet. What's that guy's name? He's a friend of mine on the internet too. He's got an orange beard and he has this property. And he was going to start a bookstore, and he has all these books and he has them stored at James's. And that was part of the deal. He's like, okay, we're having you stuff temporarily here, and I'm going to move it, but then James won't give it back or something like that. So James is holding this guy's $10,000 worth of this guy's property, or $15,000 worth of books or something. He has this huge collection of all these books from this bookstore he was starting, or other stuff too, I guess. But it's geez. So it's I'd say it would easy enough, just solve the problem, just give him back his stuff. It doesn't seem like that big of an issue to solve. And he was also going to benefit you to let you move out of England in this horrible situation where you live in this house with black mold and all this other, poor living conditions, But I guess the relationship issue between him and his wife messaged me and said she's trying to solve the problem first between the other fights that James is in, and then she'll try to get me unbanned from the frickin' Facebook group that he banned me from, the 80-10-10 raw vegan Facebook group. Just a simple guy. Well, yeah, he's simply trying to keep control, and his world is probably out of control because he's in a situation with abusive situation. And I don't say that it's just him. It's probably her and him. There's a dynamic of back and forth and how they've got to the point that they're in. It didn't happen by magic. It's just like with Charlie and Alina, it started with one thing and it turns into spitting in your face and throwing beer at each other and hitting each other and locking people out of houses. And, there's so many things that people do to each other when they don't agree and they're angry at each other, and things escalate quickly. They don't even really make YouTube videos. They have a kid together, right? I don't know. Yeah, YouTube is an act. That's what Duran Rider and Dan the Man were saying. It's like when you're on YouTube, you're making up like a new personality. There's a lot of things you're not being honest totally. You're actually putting a persona out there, what you want to be seen. Like when you're getting on the social media, yeah, you want to. If you're trying to be successful, people act on this like, oh, bar me up, give me tips. I won't do whatever this is until we reach 10,000 likes, and then we're gonna do this, and we get 200 subscribers. And what are subscribers? That's that person making money. People are just looking for ways to manipulate systems. So he's fighting for other people, thinking that's going to benefit him or something like that, like putting links to sell other people's information in books like Doug Graham, or there's probably some larger cabal of people who have some negative opinions of, oh, we don't like this guy because he shares information and that doesn't help me monetize it or something stupid like that. But it doesn't matter. I don't think information can be owned. That's just my own perspective. The Pirate Party. Gorissa Fump. Interesting name. Yeah, I don't know. And I was trying to appeal for help from the people who are in the group who are also admins and say, well, this isn't cool. How can he delete me from admin? I'm admin before he's admin. And I'm like in this group and I've been helping, and it's not easy to be admin because you have to like look at all these people who want to join the group and stop the spam, and I'm sure it can get on your nerves. I mean, it's important to have help and work together, and he didn't want to work together. He didn't want to communicate. He had me blocked. So he's already had some moral judgments in his own mind of why I, as a person, can't be communicated with or to avoid me. And I didn't understand why. I'm like, why do you block me, dude? You can't be having me blocked if we're working here together in this admin. If we're both admins of this group and you got me blocked, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? How are we going to ever coordinate and make plans? And then I told him, yeah, like people have me blocked. I just delete them from the group. They can rejoin the group, but it's important, like, I don't want to have people in the group who just have me blocked. So I remove them. And Doug Graham was one of those people who has me blocked, for instance. Funny as. David Klein does too. So there's all these people who use this natural hygiene, raw vegan community thing as a platform for their own business. And when other people threaten their business, because it's competition, right? Free market competition. We live in a world where anybody can do what they're doing. Like Durian Rider broke apart and says he's going to make this raw till 4 shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't know. I'm sure he doesn't, but he doesn't talk about it. That's the thing. When people disagree about something, I think it helps to talk it through, to say, well, what is it we disagree? It's just a misunderstanding. Misunderstandings can get overcome by communication. And what is it that humans do in life? They want to contribute to make life better for other people because that makes better for themselves. So what is he getting out of disconnecting other people and like causing drama and separating? And, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help me, that's for sure. He's causing, people's needs for camaraderie, people's needs for acceptance, people's needs for community, people's needs for connection, people's need for peace, people's needs for, there's a lot of needs he's purposely choosing to not meet for other people because he cares more about himself than others. And it's like, yeah, doesn't he get that we all have these needs? And he's probably suffering deeply himself if he's going to behave that way towards other people, several other people. So what's going on with James? I don't know. I can't say I'm not going to like sympathize for him, but I would give him empathy, and I tried, but he wouldn't receive it because he wasn't, when someone's not giving empathy to themselves, how can they even hear it from another person? Oh well. It's not my philosophy, it's just the language of life. It's just Marshall Rosenberg's ideas, and I'm merging them with general semantics. But I like it. It's important to not do domination, but he wants to justify dominating and stuff, and he thinks it's necessary to, like, because he's in this relationship with this. I guess his wife isn't citizen of the country, so he threatens to like have her kicked out and stuff like that. I don't understand why he would, he's just stuck in a difficult situation, and he has outs, he has options, and he has a possibility to go somewhere which is like a paradise and to be part of something. And this other guy, what's his name? I could look it up, his name. I could pull it up, but it's like, what a ridiculous, unnecessary problems that people create for themselves over, like, I could read into something, think more of it than it exists as a problem, and then be like, oh, I have an idea about something which isn't fully accurate because it's my own idea based on my own perceptions. And I would be honest about that. Be like, yeah, okay, maybe I misinterpreted that and that was a problem, and like, that's their point of view, that's my point of view, and we could work it out. We could, like, okay, it comes down to reconciliation and communication. But he didn't want to communicate. He chose to take advantage of his position and make excuses to say, "Whoa, because you got rid of someone who blocked you from the group, out of the group," and that person doesn't even use the group. It's not like that person's even posting in the group. Those people who block me, that like I would see, maybe their name posts, and you can see why do people who join groups, they join the group and then they block you after they join the group because they don't want you to see what they've done, or they're trying to hide some spam, or they have some other moral judgment they've made, rather than, and they avoided the communication about it. Like this one girl I was hanging out with, and then she made all these praise, which is not part of nonviolent communication. I'm trying to explain it, but I want to take the chance to explain it, but I haven't got the opportunity about the reason not to say you are awesome. It's like I'd rather hear what you say, what I did, how it made you feel, and the need it met for you, and make a request about it getting done more in the future even in better ways to enhance it, even create enhancement or to create continuation of those situations for positive feelings coming through the meeting of those needs. It's just an extra step to break apart something. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's not that complicated. It's super simple. All these systems are simple. As simple as life, It's like life has one mission. Copy, copy, copy. You know what I mean? And who wants to stop that mission? Durian Rider. Oh, we're overpopulated. They make these judgments against the whole of humanity, and it's called misanthropy. And they have this self-hatred of humans and themselves and like positions, and they create these grand schemes of it's all men's problem, it's all white people's problem, it's all humans in general's problem, and it's just like generalizations that are not going to bring us to a better life. You know what I mean? That's not going to work. That's not working out the problem. Sure, I understand that there's situations, there's negative feelings, and how in the future, in order to correct those, we don't fight in order to correct them. We actually use nonviolence and communication, and then we can make in the future avoidance of what it was that might have deprived us. And we all act in our own self-interest, and it's important that we do that in order to meet our needs. You don't do anything. Like nonviolent communication says, don't do something unless it's meeting your need. Do nothing unless it meets a need of your own. But when I apply general semantics to that, I try to think, how do I take the absolute out of that? I'd say, well, don't do something. You got to get specific. The more specific you get, the more accurate you get. And those accuracies help lead us towards, simple. It's just, I get it. It's like, better not to generalize, because then if you generalize, someone's going to read into that, and their idea of what they thought you meant could be different than what you did mean. And the better you get clear, the more clarity you have, the more peace you're going to have. Understanding and clarity. That's the tools. That's what I find the benefits of general semantics in applying that. I feel like Alfred Korzybski would benefited from Carl Rogers and Marshall Rosenberg's ideas, and Marshall Rosenberg would have benefited from their ideas, but there isn't really much connection between them that I found. But I'm purposely making it because these schools of thought, they feed each other and benefit each other and make each other stronger. Like, whatever. Okay, let's get back to Max Kaiser, because they were saying some really powerful shit here. I've been digging this Max Kaiser shit.
That is in a stagnant mode for the last 3 decades also. This is an economy that doesn't generate jobs. Youth doesn't have opportunity to study or have a decent job in the future. So, and you have, as you say, money laundering. We have the biggest drug market in the world next to our border. I mean, next to us. So this is the most important thing that you need to take into account when you talk about violence and drugs. Where is the market?
Yeah, well, where the guns come from? Eric Holder, former Attorney General, shipping Fast and Furious, shipping all the guns.
When you talk about corruption in Mexico, we have to look at the network of, the marketing channel of drugs in the U.S. is laden with corruption.
Yeah, the
he talks about
police,
the economy in Mexico stagnating. A lot of that has to do with the fact that it's a vassal state of America.
Police in Mexico take bribes everywhere.
Doesn't want the competition. So how can Mexico break out of this stagnation?
Well, the first thing we need to do is to recover control of economic policy. We don't have, as you say, it's a vassal state. I like to call it a protectorate, but make it vassal maybe even more accurate. The fact is that we don't have control on macroeconomic policy. We don't have control of industrial policy. In fact, we reneged on our project to industrialize the Mexican economy when we got into NAFTA. Formally, this is essentially giving up all policy tools for industrialization. Yep. So we need to recover that. So when people say we should, Trump wants to renegotiate NAFTA, is this an opportunity for Mexico? You have to understand NAFTA. NAFTA's objectives and the nature of NAFTA. What is it? It's not a trade agreement. NAFTA was meant to lock in Mexico and the neoliberal policy package.
Wow.
This is objective. So it will not be
NAFTA,
possible
North
to
American
get out
Free
of the
Trade Agreement. Yeah,
neoliberal
that's
policy
different.
package
I was thinking NATO, my bad.
because you need to renegotiate NAFTA to do that, and that will not happen because this is something you have agreed with the United States.
So why can't you call Trump's bluff and
Agreements
say,
change.
we don't want to be in NAFTA? As a matter of fact, thanks. Kill NAFTA. We don't want to negotiate. Kill it. Kill it, you bloviating,
Kill it.
New York real estate developer. Just kill it.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, you need a new political landscape to do that here in Mexico. I mean, with the present administration, this government, with the powers that be today in Mexico, that will not happen. You need to absolutely change that. But you're
benefiting
right.
from NAFTA
We need to
by
say,
cheating it.
get out of this mode of thinking and say, how can we tweak and change details in NAFTA to get a better deal? This is not going to happen. This is you will not get a better deal.
Chelsea.
Now,
You're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
That's right. Exactly. Playing the fiddle.
Fiddle. They're playing, and the band played on.
And the band played on, and the waves swallow them. Well, the thing is that you can do some minor adjustments. So that's not going to change. The thing is, NAFTA not only locked in Mexico in a neoliberal mode, I think it subordinated the Mexican economy to the American business cycle, to the value chain of multinational corporations operating in the U.S. And Mexico became, once again, a primary economy. It reprimarized the Mexican economy. So we export raw materials, oil, agricultural products, and cheap labor through the maquiladora industry, so the offshore companies that operate here in Mexico, including the automobile industry, which many people think this is really our way to industrialization. No, it's not. Those industries are disconnected from the rest of the economy.
That's exploitative.
So they may grow,
at least
but
you're
the
getting
economy will
exploited.
not grow with them. And this is clear. I mean, if you look at the numbers, you see years when you have a spectacular expansion of trade, but the Mexican economy is in recession or stagnant. Well,
because it goes offshore.
The locomotive is disconnected.
It goes offshore.
Because, well,
the profits are taken away.
They are not, the value added is not in Mexico.
Right. The Panama Papers show there's a multi-trillion-dollar offshore cartel, and Mexico's getting stabbed with this.
But even,
the workers are getting
plants.
exploited.
I mean, you have Ford and, American companies established in Mexico. Yes, but what, are you really exporting cars? No, you're exporting cheap labor. You are assembling parts that come in, shipped to Mexico, assemble them, and re-export it to the U.S. And there's no flow of currencies there, by the way. So this is why, these industries are disconnected from the matrix of industrial relations in Mexico. So you don't grow this way. You will never grow this way. So yes, my view is let's get rid of NAFTA. It's not a question of we need to get rid of NAFTA to recover our own autonomy vis-a-vis economic policy.
So the other country involved in NAFTA is Canada, of course. Are you guys Mexico and Canada?
Not really.
Why not?
Not in these terms. Well, I mean, NAFTA is not.
Gang up on the United States, 2 against 1.
Yeah, that's right. The sandwich, right?
Yeah, the sandwich. Squeeze them out.
No, sure, absolutely. I would love to do that, and that would be great. The problem is, I mean, the powers that be in Canada and the powers that be in Mexico are not willing to get rid of NAFTA, and they're not willing to renegotiate NAFTA in a really how shall I say, meaningful way. Because, as I say, if you have minor adjustments here,
we're going to get bullied by Trump if they don't.
NAFTA generates a surplus for Mexico. So we have a trade surplus with Mexico. Since when Trump says NAFTA has hurt the United States, he can point out to a deficit with Mexico, bilateral trade deficit with Mexico. But NAFTA is not benefiting Mexico because we're not growing. We're stagnant. We don't have less inequality because of NAFTA. On the contrary, we have greater inequality today, and we don't have a surplus with the rest of the world. So our trade policy did not allow Mexico to generate
You're just floating.
Surplus on our trade balance. We have
better
a
to float than to be sinking.
in spite of the fact that we have this surplus with the United States. And by the way, the surplus has gotten smaller because you have a drop in oil prices. And the maquiladora industries, as I say, operate on the basis of the U.S. business cycle. So when they have a recession and they have a problem, well, we have also the same problem with our exports. So the only reason we don't have a bigger.
How about get
trade
rid of the
deficit
border?
today
Get rid
because
of
the
no
Mexican
Canada,
economy is
no
not
Mexico,
growing.
USA. It's
Once
all
it starts
just
to
one
grow, that
region.
deficit starts to
And
grow
people
with it
move
too
where
at the
they
same
want to
time.
move. It's
So here's
individuals and
structural maladjustments in the
politicians.
Mexican economy that need to be addressed. And without doing that, this economy will continue stagnant. The violence continue, unemployment, inequality, and the environmental deterioration will just continue, on a stampede.
The vilification of Mexico by the Trump administration in some of the mainstream media, it sets up a difficulty for the very poor in America to communicate with the very poor in Mexico. Mexico's got roughly 30 million folks that are on the verge of starvation. In America, you've got 100 million or more at or below the poverty line, and probably 20 or 30 million of those are on the verge of starving to death.
Absolutely.
So that's 50 to 60 million Mexicans and Americans that can get together and form some kind of strategic bloc. They are voters in both countries.
They don't have enough energy for their brains. They're not carved up. They're not going to do nothing.
Which is what other authoritarian regimes, other than the
They're going to
American
die in the
authoritarian
streets
regime,
because they don't have
or the
enough energy
Mexican
to fight for their own
authoritarian regime,
well-being.
have done to anyone posing a
They
threat
have no-
to their
They have no
authoritarianism.
reserves.
That's right. So why not the ultra poor in Mexico and the ultra poor in America get together over a nice bowl of chicken
They don't have any energy.
and
Fuck.
a hot dog?
Chicken is not
and,
the answer. Neither
come
is a hot
together.
dog. That's so sick. Max is
It would
lost
be nice if the
in
Democratic
his
Party
ideas
had
about
understood
food.
something of what you're saying.
He doesn't know
and
what
say,
it takes to
let's
power the human body
incorporate that
properly
in our
to
agenda
resist.
and in our campaign. But the fact is that
Ooh, I got a lemon.
I
This
think
is electricity
the
right here.
political elite in the United States has chosen to scapegoat the Mexican migrants, not only Mexican, Central American Mexican migrants, the black population, and even the Muslims. So when you have this level of poverty, the United States is becoming today a third world country. That's the way I see it.
According to the recent study, they're in the second world.
Exactly.
For sure. They're no longer in the first world.
Absolutely.
According to health standards, living standards, education standards, the U.S. has now dropped out of the top 10. They're in the second world status.
Look at the Gini coefficient.
Wow.
The level of inequality in the United States. Look at their infrastructure. Okay, so one way to address that by elites is to scapegoat migrants and even other economic powers in the world that have stolen our jobs and all this rubbish. But it's instead of addressing this, I think the Democratic Party chose to what was the choice they had? Do we win with Sanders or do we lose with Hillary? And they chose to lose with Hillary.
I just think that there's this remarkably strong political bloc between the two countries that is somehow not getting together. Through social media, not to belabor this point too much, but through alternative financial systems like crypto and Bitcoin, they have the ability to secede from both the American and the Mexican economy, create their own economy, and begin to exert financial power using alternative currencies in this way. You're an economist. Have you looked at that?
Yeah, well, not
Might be the
to
cops,
that
watch.
particular part of it, and certainly not from the perspective of political organizations or NGOs in Mexico and the U.S. What I've been thinking about is that this crisis is so deep. This is not a financial crisis; it's an economic or macroeconomic crisis of global terrorism.
Go inside or what?
You all have fun? Yeah, maybe we'll do another segment with you if you can stay. Sure. All right. That's great. Well, thanks for the show. Thank you very much. Great. Okay. Well,
show's
that's
over.
going to do it for this edition of the Kaiser Report with me, Max Kaiser, and Stacy Herbert. I'd like to thank our guest, Alexandro Nadal. If you want to reach us on Twitter, it's Kaiser Report. Until next time. Bye, y'all.
Bummer. No, that wasn't someone knocking on the door. Something else was happening. I don't know what it was. What time is it now? 2:40. I have an hour to burn. Tiberian rites? No. Tibetan rites. Oh. It's just some people praying or what? Tibet, like where they fight for their ability to be like a monk or something or what? You know what I could do? I could make another I could start another batch of prickly pear. I didn't sell all the prickly pear that I made yesterday, so it's not like forcing, I think it sounds unhygienic in that but it does sound nature cure-ish. You know how Vincent Priesnitz would be bathe in cold water, bathe in hot water, put yourself under pressure, punish yourself. I don't agree with monks in Tibet one bit because they're always whipping and punishing each other. And they think they're doing it as some adoration of their mythological beliefs in some supernatural being. or force. I'm not down with that. That's like Alcohol Anonymous or something where everybody goes to like, oh yeah, Bill and Ted use the power of the Lord to overcome their aversion, to create an aversion to alcohol consumption and empower each other through support. That's what they said. Some of the worst, what was it, the monks? When the monks in Europe were denied fresh food, they had some of the worst cases of heart disease, leukocytosis, because of a lack of fresh food. Fresh food, having fresh fruits and vegetables is what cleans your body. It keeps your body with the alkaloids and the because they're locking. They go in your system, and they, even if it's like wheatgrass juice, it's the alkaloids of the plants that are locking onto those free acids that are in your body, stuck in your lymph system, and pulling them out and allowing you to detox that. And you need sunshine is a big part of that too, and so is fresh air and clean water. The secret to pollution is dilution, like Doug said. But then there is too much dilution. There are always fine lines to whatever. Oh, do you see what I'm doing with this jujubes? I'm smashing them with the sledgehammer. I'm smashing jujubes. It's so sweet. It's some of the sweetest thing I've ever made. It's amazingly sweet. I don't know what. Let me see if it bothers the dog. Let's do some more of that right now. Put the camera on the table or something. I don't want to do that. I don't want to spill it. You know what I mean? I want to just gotta smash them one by one. They're so sweet. They're really spongy and delicious, and they taste like cotton candy. But when they dry up, they become hard as rocks. It's like crystallized sugar, and so nobody wants to buy it because they can't chew it. But if I'm able to do this, oh my gosh, it smells so good. They smell super fragrant too. They're such a delicious smelling fruit. One of my favorite smelling fruits. This is working out pretty good. Any messages? They say, what is he smashing? I'm smashing jujubes. They're called Chinese red dates, jujubes. They're like some of the sweetest things I've ever had, but nobody will buy them because they're too hard and they can't eat them. But if I turn it to a powder and grind it up in a powder, it's kind of like carob. It's way sweeter than carob. If I grind it up into a powder, I'm gonna put some of this in my next fruit roll up. But they're so good. If I grind it up into a powder, I can sell it. Jujubes, yeah, they're so good. My mom, I knew what they were because my mom was growing them. They're a high altitude plant, desert plant from China, and I knew what they were. And I saw them. I was like, oh, jujubes, and I started collecting them and selling them. But I ended up with a bunch of them. The problem with them is they don't always dry perfectly. If there's a crack in the skin, they'll ferment. So they won't dry if they have a broken skin. So it's all about not having broken skins. And as long as the skin's not broken, they dry properly. So it's a tricky system, getting them to dry without fermenting. Yeah, well, they make a lot of candy from this. This is probably a super high ingredient used in candy because it's so abundant. And it's so freaking delicious. It's one of the best foods in the world. It grows in any environment. It's a super tough plant. It's a tree, and it grows in like any environment. There's different varieties of it, like thornless jujube or whatever, but it's not that bad. I'm not bothered by the thorns. I could smash more carob. I got a ton of new carob tomorrow. the new carob harvest is in, and it's all over the ground, underneath the trees, like all of it dropped off the tree. And all you gotta do is pick it all off the ground. There's tons of it. Where is it? I brought it in somewhere, huh? I'll go get it. It's in the car, maybe. I can show you. It's a really cool variety. It's like a smaller variety, not like a wider variety, but a narrower variety, and it's actually a little sweeter than some of the other varieties of carob. Pretty cool. There's different kinds of carob. Different kinds of carob. One's left. Go. Good enough. As long as it's partly broken, and then I can put it in the grinder and then grind it. Sledgehammer. Booyah. Cool. Let's put it over here for now. I'll deal with that later. It's looking good. Some progress. Running out of time. But then I have these things too. These are called Mexican black dates, and they taste like honey. But there's not much. It's like just a little syrup that's around a big old seed in this black thing. So I like eating them. I'll just eat them all day, you know. I'll eat them all day. They're delicious. They're called Mexican black. And this is the staple food of the Native Americans. The Latin name is Washingtonia robusta. You see inside there? See that? It's just like a little seed, and it's covered in this syrup, and it tastes just like honey. It's just like honey. Yeah, there's a thing called it's called a hammer mill. I never had one, but sometimes they organize this party where they have a hammer mill. Check out this stuff. This stuff's great. I love this stuff. But check out this stuff that falls off the tree in my front yard. Watch. This stuff is even sweeter than carob too. So I have all this stuff, and it just falls off my tree. And these trees are everywhere. This is one of the most popular trees in the whole city, and outside the city too. This is the most popular tree in the desert. So, see all over the ground? Look at this stuff. It's all over the ground. I'm going to close my trunk. Do I have the carob in here still? Here it is. Yeah, the carob is still here. Here it is. So check it out. I just harvested this carob yesterday. But, oh, cool. Yeah, the black sphinx are going to come in November, though. But here it is, right? So it's all over the ground. And all I got to do is pick up all these pods. We can do that right now and try to do an experiment and see if we can smash some of them up. But I don't really want to do that. I just want to pick them all up before the irrigation comes, because I don't want them getting wet and then drying and then getting wet and then drying. I want them not to get wet in the first place. And the sweeter and drier they get, right? So I have all these pods. Look at all these racks. I have this whole rack of these. Are this lady gave me these for drying dates. But so in this tree, there's still some up there. Maybe most of them are dropped. See, most of the pod fruit just dropped. So all the pod fruit is ready to harvest now. And that's one of the number one foods in the desert is this pod fruit. And look, you can just, look at this. You just break it. You just break it, and then you just eat it. It's really good. It's sweet. It's delicious. It's great. It's just dry freaking pods, but they're great. The problem is the seeds. So the seeds stick to the thing. Native Americans lived off this stuff. I can just chew it all day. It'd be great. I have so much of it. Here, I'm gonna wash all my boxes of stuff right here, right? My crates and boxes. I put the oranges and citrus in. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a grapefruit juice. I was hoping that the grapefruits weren't gonna sell. I was like, oh man, I might sell out of grapefruits, and then I won't be able to make any grapefruit juice. So I was like, here's the dates, right? I put the dates in these my containers I bring to the market. But here's the grapefruits. Look at these apples. I got all these apples. Look at these striped Armenian cucumbers I got. Oh my gosh, these things are so delicious. And then I got a whole thing of black mission figs. All these, I'll bring them to the light to show you, but I'm going to juice these grapefruits that are more squishy, and that no one's going to buy them because they're too squishy. So I separated them. You know, like the ones that are on the verge. So Like, look at all these apples I got. They're called Golden Tharp. They're very delicious apples. Like the one like this that's brown and looking like it's going bad is actually the most delicious ones. So good. These are organic. Yeah, I mean, this is better than organic. Organic is still poisoned, you know. Organic doesn't mean they don't use pesticides and herbicides. They just use versions that they got approved to use by the Monsanto FDA. See, Monsanto owns FDA, and they just have copper sulfides and stuff like that. They use copper sulfides proven to be more harmful to aquatic fish life than glyphosate. So I'm gonna make a ruby red grapefruit juice right now. Here we go. All right, so you got these ruby reds that I got from Mesa yesterday, and I still have a bunch of yellow grapefruits from last week. I didn't bring them even to the market because I don't think anyone wants to buy them. But I'm gonna put some together. I'll put them together. It's not like ruby reds taste much different. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because they don't use poisons and like a lot of just more like maybe it's more respectful. But USDA, Europe won't accept what USA calls. I mean, the USA version of organic is probably different than European. Europe probably has really organic stuff they verify. USA has no verification whatsoever. It's just a fucking scam by Monsanto. There's no fucking organic in USA, if you think about it. It's kind of lame. But this is better than organic. It's no spray. Nobody cared about this tree. This is just some random apple tree that nobody gives a fuck about. And I fucking picked all the apples off. Yeah, it's great. I like it. Tastes delicious. So let's do this. We got juicer. And juice container. This is like my most important thing. If I think of anything that matters to me more than anything else, it's this. Having a gallon worth of thing to pour, like a pouring bowl gallon. Probably like my most important thing I have. Like no tool matters. Well, I guess a knife matters more to me. But this and a knife and a bowl and a spoon and a smoothie glass. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like what else do I need? Let's open these up. Okay. That looks good. So the ruby red was across the street. This is just pink grapefruits. They're like, see how they're all squishy? No one wants to buy that. But it still tastes good. I have to cut my oranges before I juice them because this juicer normally used to stop and go. It doesn't do that anymore. It's just constant go, 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 and it spits all over the place and make a huge mess. So you have to hold it with your hand while you're using it. Otherwise, it's out of control. Out of control! I wanted to buy this really cheap juicer. I saw it Goodwill the other day, but I didn't do it. I was like, I already got one. Mine still works. It's not like my juicer doesn't work. It's just this thing is totally. It's bearable. I mean, it's not uneatable. It's not unedible. So I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm gonna juice it. I'm gonna go to the Fruit Lock all full. I'm like, oh, I came full. Kind of like, oh, you came full. No, I should take these. I'll take these over there. I'll take these to the Fruit Lock. There's more where that came from. You know what I mean? Like this tree that I got these from, it's got tons more on it. So I can't go get some more. But I got what I got right now, and I want to take that with me to the Fruit Lock. I don't want to take too much, but I kind of do. So let's do it. Did you see the durian that Cappy Osborne posted today on Facebook? It turned out really good, but I only sold like 4 of them. I might have only sold 3 of them actually. So I don't have them.
I'll have them for next week. So that's the good thing about dehydrated stuff. You can have it for next week and the week after. It's not like it's gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna go bad. Oh shit, now that I'm going out to Mesa, I could probably go get some more right now. I could go pick some more fruit Mesa. I'm looking for peaches. I know there's peaches out there. One day, yeah, just next week, I'll sell next week. Sometimes it's like one person. It's more like one person will come and buy it all because they like it so much. So, ooh, I want to buy it all. That's what happens. This is the problem I have with the juicer. It gets backed up with pulp. So like I gotta kind of pull it and then push it through because it's jammed, and then it'll go. There we go. See. There's only 2 more. Yeah, sometimes, or just someone delusional. They're like, oh, I want them all. You know what I mean? Like people are like that. That's like your number one customers are people who get excited. People are like, ah! They're definitely like, what's it called? Hypermanic. Hypermanic people are your best customer. They're like, oh, there's like a deal, I buy everything. They're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Where else will I find this? I mean, and it's practical. There's a reason people pay because it's like, yeah, that's something that makes them feel good, and they're like, yeah, man, that's the stuff I want. If it's freaking good and I never seen it before, of course, like you're not thinking about other people and like whether they want some. You're like, oh man, I gotta get all of this so I can eat it all at once, or whatever it is. Who was Mike Stone did that. Mike Stone came and bought all my stuff. And Mike Stone's going to be there today, actually. They said Mike Stone might be at the Fruit Luck here. We're going to make a video. I better charge the camera, make sure I've got a good charge. That way I can not run out of batteries while I'm making my video. Maybe I can make some cool video. I don't know how interesting it's going to be, but I don't know. Everybody... Sometimes I have a hard time controlling my shop. There's a lot of impulsive shoppers, you know what I mean? And it's the system that's created that within us, because I think they probably brainwash people into like that kind of idea. What do you think? Like, I should put this in the refrigerator to keep it cool? I could just put a bunch of ice in it, and drink it iced out. At the same time, I like room temperature stuff. I mean, room temperature is easier to digest, so... Full glass. That's how we rock it. Bam! Let's try it. Hopefully it's not going to be horrible. It smells good. Oh my gosh. That's wonderful. You can taste it. It's not old, but it's not disgusting. I got a bunch of messages while I was on the phone, huh? What kind of messages do I get? Notifications like I got mentioned. Wow, what is that stuff you mentioned me in? Is that a palm tree or a tree? Like, what are those red flowers? I don't understand. Let's see what other messages I get. Someone commented on Cappy Osborne. Cappy Osborne's freaking... Yeah, I do want to put this in the fridge to let it cool down for a second. I think like that'll help because it's freaking hot. This is above body temperature. I have some cold bubble water, some cold mineral water, or some. This is bubbles, but let's put it in a glass. Damn, the water's coming out of the pipes. Fucking hot as heck. The water's coming out of my freaking faucet, like, boom, like hot. Oh, cool. Yeah, every fruit. You know, imagine there's so many millions. They say there's like, what is it, over 30,000 types of fruit in the world or something? It's so much. I've got a sapote mame. I got a ripe sapote mame that's ready to eat. As soon as those things get ripe, you eat them. So I put it in the fridge. It's probably ready to eat right now. But again, I don't want to ruin my appetite before the fruit luck. There's gonna be all kinds of fruit to eat. You know, it's more about socializing than freaking eating, I suppose. But yeah, figs aren't ripe all the way yet. This week, figs come and go. They're gone immediately. As soon as the figs get ripe, they're freaking good, and then boom, they're gone a week later. You know, so fast. They're a very short crop. That's why most people dry figs, because figs are come and go. They're just like the jujubes. If you don't dry them properly, they ferment and they're gone. And there's even less time on the figs than there is on the mulberries. And the mulberries come and go fast. So, you know, you got to be on it. When you want those figs, here, that's what I was going to show you guys. I was going to show you those figs. Here, I'm going to go get them. What is you doing, Gigi? What are you doing? Just sitting in the hallway? You're chilling? Like, knock Gigi on the head. Be like, Gigi, Gigi. Well, this isn't. We'll see. Striped Armenian cucumbers. Oh, yeah. You pick them when they're ripe, when they're soft. See? Let's try one right now. See? Open his figs. You want to open them up? Look how delicious that looks. Ripe figs. It looks juicy as can be. Eat them up inside out. Oh my god. That's so good. Figs for life, man. Yum. Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How lucky am I to have? I traded these figs for some apples. I still got a lot of apples. These striped Armenian cucumbers are some of the best cucumbers I've ever eaten. Fresh figs. Need anything dehydrated? I think it makes a lot of sense to rehydrate it. Just soak it in water overnight and then eat it in the morning. Blend it up, you know? Make some figgy pudding. That's what my mom used to do when we were a kid. When I was a kid, my mom would rehydrate the dates and make figgy pudding. Just blend them up. Figgy pudding's delicious. Oh my gosh. I'm a figgy pudding kid for sure. Try to stay on top of the compost here. I know the roaches love me, man. I'm like Roach's best friend. Silly because I kill them, but still, roaches love what I create the situation that they thrive in. Because I neglect sometimes my freaking compost pile. Ooh, it's hot out there. Why is it so hot outside, Gigi? What's going down? What are you doing? Hey, you want to be famous? You want to be famous? Hey, what do you know about famous? Hey, you're on YouTube Live. You're on YouTube Live. You don't even know what that means. You gotta get down. You gotta get your dog self together. Control yourself, Gigi. Control yourself. You're too excited. You're too excited. Let's go in circles. Circles. Let's dance. Let's dance. Come on. Maybe not. You just want me to feed you. I'm not feeding you. I'm not the dog feeder. I'll come back for this. The black dates. I got a whole freaking box of these black dates, you know. Nobody buys them, so look at the spiders are defending them. That's cool. I'm not messing with the spiders. The spiders are there for a reason, you know? To stop other things from eating the stuff. The spiders aren't eating the stuff. They're freaking protecting it. Spiders are like more like protectors, you know? I don't mind spiders. I never kill spiders. I don't freaking move them either. Hey, you come in here? You normally don't come in here. What's up? What do you want? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? You want to do my laundry? You want to do my laundry? No, they got water. Dog's got water. It's got plenty of water. Maybe it wants my water. Yeah, she's got lots of water. She gets fed once a day. She like the roommates who own her. They feed her. Right on, man. Talk to you later. Maybe I'll be a vlog about the fruit luck. When you wake up, I don't know. I mean, because I don't have access to my computer yet. My computer fucking is down right now. Down and out, technology-wise. So I got my phones, but I should keep it plugged in. I gotta keep it plugged in because... yeah, I'm sleeping on the floor. Oh, you're sleeping on the floor with no mattress? What are you doing, Gigi? You just chilling there? You like it in here or what? No, don't lick me in the face. Not interested. Not interested. You're always eating your own pussy. I'm not trying to get licked in the face by the dog. Mm. If human women and men could suck and eat their own dick and pussy, would they? They probably would. Not me. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see Ted Carr's "I'm not doing no fap anymore" video? He fucking I don't. What are you eating that for, Gigi? Don't eat that. Don't do that. A dog just eating shit on the floor. Who knows how long that's been there or what it is even. Why are you doing that? What is it? What is it? Why is it cracking? Why is it cracking? What is that? Is some kind of seed in the... Just go away. Go. Go out of here. Go. Thank you. See, the dog listens. The dog is a very good listener. Yeah, how much time do I got? I'm keeping it plugged in right here, but... Oh, man. I like this shirt. This new shirt that I got for $1. It's pretty nice. It's a really nice shirt. Massimo. And it's got like that kind of bubbly pattern. It's kind of like feels like so cool. 100% cotton. Yeah, I better end the stream. There's no point in me streaming. 2 hours is cool. I'll be back. Maybe I'll stream live over at the Fruit Luck. Maybe I'll make the Fruit Luck live. I'll go live at the Fruit Luck. That'd make a lot of sense. Now I'll just leave it live, and then you guys can watch the Fruit Luck happening. So that way, maybe I'll be back in like an hour. I'll try. But thanks for coming and visiting. Shout outs to the Swiss, the vegan, King Kong, but I take off to the Fruit Luck in a minute, so I don't know what else. Just chilling. Peace.